Greetings, tribe. Today, I have something incredible to share with you. As you guys know, we're on a continuous mission to find incredible opportunities that allow us to give, gift, and uplift. And we find passive opportunities that allow us to leverage our money instead of our time, which is something that we really value. Well, on that search, I found something in the Forex space that really delivers on giving us the freedom and the flexibility of being in control of our money, yet mirroring profitable traders on, get this, any broker of our choice. You can see a number of the presentations that we've done and deep dives by the creator of the software. Today, we're going to be talking to the CEO and the creator of the comp plan, creator of the DeFi Money Club, that is putting all of this together to allow us to use such technologies as Omni and create an amazing income. So I have with me Danny, who has not only put this together, but has made multiple 7 and 8 figures utilizing such comp plans. So thought it would be very important to talk to him even before this gets launched, so that we can have a game plan and strategy of how to take this to the market in a structured maybe 12 or weeks or maybe 12 months, depending on your pace, to get to some incredible 6, 7, and possibly 8 figures here. So with that, Danny, thank you for being here with us prior to launch. I know you got a lot of work on your plate, but how did this all come together, and why this particular comp plan, and how was it like to design it and to put it together?
Well, that's a couple of things. First of all, thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure working with like-minded individuals, and certainly you've been very successful in the industry as well. So, it's so great to be here, and of course the bridge for this to happen is my good friend Bishop Stewart. So, thank you to him to making this possible as well. But you asked how did this came to be. I've been in this industry now for 20 years, and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. I was enemy number one of network marketing. I despised it. I used to hate the bait and switch that is very prevalent in our industry. And so I'm not gonna bore you with all the details of that, but I do have my stories on how I became enemy number one of the industry. However, what really caught my eye 20 years ago was a product in the telecommunications space. And so I wound up coming on board, kicking and screaming into the industry because of the strength of the product, because the product worked and it saved money both for residential and commercial. It was the deregulation of of long distance, deregulation of phone systems, deregulation of telecommunications, if you will. And so when that change happened, and that trend happened, it really made it very easy to fall in love with a technology and then build around that technology. And then I was very fortunate, I was very lucky because I stumbled across the technology, but the technology is only one piece of it. You have to have the right vehicle, and the right vehicle at the time was a company called Liberty. And in that company, my first mentor in the industry had a compensation structure that he had used prior to in the 80s with prepaid calling cards. Mm-hmm. And he had been in the telecommunications space on long distance and calling cards. And so back then he created a binary program that was not a typical binary. It was a binary on steroids. He called it an octenary. And he had, at the time, and this is before the internet, this is before, the way we do business now, with faxing orders and mailing cashier's checks in, he built a 1 million-man army in a little over 18 months with that comp plan because he outpaid everybody in the industry. So he had paid the most money to the most people in the shortest period of time in the history of network marketing. And so that was my first mentor. And so when I got introduced to a binary, I didn't know what a binary was. I didn't come from the industry, so I didn't get it. But once I actually studied it, my first year made 6 figures with the comp plan. Second year, $250,000. By the third year, over 380,000. By the fourth year, I was in 7 figures. So I stayed with that company for 8 years, became the number one distributor there. And what wound up happening is I got very immersed in the compensation structure. Once you can reverse engineer a comp plan, you can understand where the pitfalls are. And even though that comp plan was super great, and it was, we took that base model and actually made it better. We added matching bonuses, we added leadership bonuses that didn't exist. And so a lot of the breakage that was in that comp plan, we basically took out. So we pay out right now with this octenary, which has been supersized, if you will. We have taken out just about everything of the breakage that you can off of a binary, and built something really, really special where every 70 cents out of every dollar is allocated to the compensation structure. Now, in order to qualify, one left, one right, to down to infinity with no levels to qualify, you're going to be overriding 100% credit of every single cell in your organization. And if you come to the comp plan trainings, we'll teach you how to maximize it so that you can make seven figures within 12 weeks. A lot of times when you throw those numbers out, Sal, people are telling you what's the maximum that you can make if everybody comes in at the maximum purchase. Now, we're going to teach you how to do it with our least, if everybody bought the least amount of product, right? The least amount, the minimum. And in 12 weeks, you could be making seven figures with our comp plan. This isn't like you went out and recruited 100 people. No, this is you go out and recruit 2 people. And we'll show you 12 weeks how to duplicate and make seven figures. That's how powerful our comp plan is. And this isn't theoretical. The last time around, in about 14 months, and Bishop Stewart, which you know very well, he witnessed this, right? I mean, he was one of our seven-figure earners, right? But we paid out $33 million in commissions in about 14 months.
33 million.
We were, one of the biggest things people always say, oh, well, Danny's made a lot of money. He's made 8 figures in a year and all that. That's great. And I'm thankful to God because he was able to put me in a position where I could do that as a rep. But what I'm the most proud is having been able to pay out. Right? It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you impact other people. And so the last time around, I'm very proud to say my wife and I, we paid out $33 million in commissions. And so, that's to me, more important than how much money I made for myself.
That's incredible because these sorts of numbers in the industry are typically reserved for the elites, typically reserved for the people that are veterans in the space. But when I saw the deeper dive of such a statement as an actual blueprint of getting from startup with minimal capital and a lot of sweat equity, which it's not even a lot of, but it's just duplication, that one could, and the math checks out, and we're going to dive into that math, of across 12 weeks, if everyone just duplicates 2 by 2, that you ultimately yield some incredible numbers. 6 figures to a bit more aggressive leads to 7 figures, multiple 7 figures, and that's the power of the comp plan. And then that actually doesn't even take into account the other streams of income that may really bring that to much bigger numbers or a lot sooner, or just even if duplication is slower, you have these other forms of making money, whether it's the matching, whether it's the performance split, whether it's the leadership bonuses, all of those things. So could we dive into some of those aspects and show the intricacies of where all the money is? Essentially, show me the money aspect, because we understand technology is great here to allow the decentralization of Forex automated trading is something we can all get behind, having the freedom and flexibility to choose our broker and choose our strategy. Now, what's the reward for us to take this to the world upon launch, and how big can we go with something that is a legitimate service and use to people that really benefit from it, and it makes a win-win-win situation? How big can it get? Because you have product-based companies, and then you have the ROI-based companies. I think this hits that sweet spot where it's passive, but it's a real service that people are happy to get access to and be able to leverage real skills and expertise. And ultimately, we make money in a multitude of ways, from membership to performance fee to bonuses and things of that nature. So let's dive in, please.
Yeah, well, the first thing, and one thing that you said, which is very important, right? It's a real service. The real service is not just the technology. We're talking about real trading in the Forex market. This isn't something where, it's not a money game. It's not one of these things where you're going to come in and make a certain percentage. It's nothing like that. You're talking about real traders. And so Omni is a distribution channel, but because of that technology and what it provides to the Forex market, we can pick and choose the best of the best, right? So we can take a look at results. We could take a look at the FX book. We could take a look at the track record. Whether it's an experienced trader, right? Right now we're talking with one that's averaged over the last 90 days, an average of 18,000 pips per month, right? So he trades manually, but for the end user, it becomes something that's automated for the end user, right? So we don't care if it's an actual trader taking the trades. For us, it's automated. For a bot or an algorithm, it's the same thing, right? It's still automated for the end user. So this isn't something that you're going to come in and have to jump through hoops and learn and do all this stuff, which is great if you have the time and the inclination to do so, right? We also offer that. We have a full-blown out Forex Trading Academy that we have, and that is one of our verticals. Yeah. However, somebody can learn, connect to Omni while they're learning so that they can be, learn while you earn, right? Or earn while you learn, if that makes more sense. Okay. And so that's what people need to understand, that this is real Forex trading. It's not smoke and mirrors. It's a real deal. And you get to make that profitability in an automated way, right? That's the experience for the end user. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is that nobody has access to your money, right? The user is 100% protected. Number one, we have no access to your broker account. We have no access to your money. The only way you continue your service is you choose to pay or not to pay. That's it. Okay, so your money is never touched by anybody other than yourself. And so that gives a peace of mind to the users and to our reps. And so when you get out there, and you can decide whether you want to even participate in referring people or not. It's not a requirement. You could just come in, connect, be a customer, and just be happy being a customer and making money, and that's fine. There's no requirement for you to go out and share this with anybody. We believe that based on the results, like right now, before this conversation started, you know how it went. Yeah. Bishop was like, oh my gosh, this did incredibly yesterday. And it's like, there's just no way not to share it, right? Because
you might accidentally share it.
You look at your account and it goes up by, I'd say from Friday to today, one of our accounts went up like $2,000, if I'm not mistaken, Bishop. And when you see those results, I mean, how can you keep it inside and not share it with people, right? So we understand that that's going to happen. And if you do decide to share it, then you're going to be making a lot of money. Remember, our comp plan is designed to pay out 70 cents on every dollar that comes in, period.
That's incredible. I mean, that is... I can see you guys definitely 10xing that 33 million here with something that is as, I would say, encompassing. I mean, think about the $7 trillion a day industry. Think about all the people that are trying to make money in this industry, or these peripheral services, or the EAs and the signals and all these different markets that you can go to. All the people that are working with different IBs of brokers, and there's just going to be so much value added to that whole industry of people that are doing anything with it, from prop firms to the beginner that wants to, as you said, earn while they learn, to the expert that says, you know what, I just want some money to be handled by other strategies that other traders that have proven track records to do. So I think the marketing of this is just going to be it's just a matter of how many people can we get in front of. And either some people, they're ready to go because they just get it, and others, you just drip on the results. You just share the results over time. They're like, okay, what exactly is happening? No, I'm not a trader. I'm just mirroring these traders. And then, the freedom of the brokers. It's just, I've been having a lot of conversations with people that know the struggles and the confinements of our industry. And so I think this allows us to expand our wings. And so the marketing, I think, is going to be very, very fun. So these numbers, I think will be a lot more cheaper.
If I could add a little bit to that, Sal, is let's talk about timing, because we are in November, right? Where a lot of times people think, oh, well,
end of the year.
It's November, it's December, it's the end of the year, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like we right now, the timing is so good, because whatever it is that you do right now, and let me tell you about the timing. Right now, you and I are talking because I went to one of my dear friends, just one. Okay. And Bishop knows the people that I normally work with. I have not engaged those people. And Bishop will tell you, right? I haven't engaged my community. I haven't engaged those people that we paid millions of dollars to. We haven't even called them. We haven't even engaged them. I called the one, which is, Bishop is like one of my oldest and dearest friends. And so I wanted to share with him first. And it wasn't even like I was trying to recruit him. I said, hey, look, I'm doing this. Try it and see what you think. That was it. And then all of a sudden, he's like, hey, I got 50 people that want to get. Hold on, we're not launching yet, right? Hang on. So I don't want to have that conversation with all of my people. I'm like, okay, look, we're literally right now. The timing of this is we have to get our final approvals on Google and Android on the tech side. Once that's done, we have probably about a week of testing that we need to do. And so we're literally about 2 weeks away from launching this. So right now, the best thing for anybody to do, if you see the opportunity and you see the technology and you see what we put together, to position yourself right now, start making your phone calls, because the minute we unleash, it's going to go like this. We're going to go around the world very, very quickly. It's technology, so we can go around the world. There's no barriers for us. Here in the United States, as you know, we've gone through all of the legal hurdles, all of the legal challenges. We've structured with one of our co-founders of Omni, and I'm not a founder of Omni, but I know the structure there because we've had a relationship for the last decade. And our attorney, not only is he a licensed attorney that turned down a judgeship to be working 100% on Omni, but he holds the licensing, right, the credentials, and the Series 3, the Series 63, all of the different licenses that he needs to be one of about 1,000 people in the U.S. that, because of his experience and his licensing, allows Omni to be a legal product here in the U.S. with an actual exemption that just doesn't exist. You can't go to the Apple Store and the Google Store and find anything remotely like what we're doing that is legal, 100% transparent, and that is operating with brokers that are in the United States as well and abroad. And so that's a big statement, guys. And if you understand the power of that, where we could actually tap into the U.S. market as we tap into the international market as well, it's just a powerful combination.
No, it is something so refreshing from all of the trading related spaces and opportunities and projects where there's a uneasy feeling of both putting our own money in, putting our clients in. Here, what I really find peace in is that we are not an investment platform. We are just providing a service and allowing people to connect whatever strategies to it, to allow them to decide and have the controls of configuring their setup in however they wish, from the lot sizes to the max drawdowns, to so many other features. And so the building aspect of it is unlike any other, where it's not someone's cornered into putting their money into certain platform, or even such as PAM or MAMs, which even as much freedom as they may have in terms of you being able to access your money, you're still restricted to use that specific broker. So the degrees of freedom we have here is unlike anything that I've seen before, and that's coming from someone who's lost millions because I was cornered into needing to use a specific broker to follow a specific algorithm, and so I am a true testament of how much this is needed in the market. So it's going to be very fun to take this global in the time that we have. I'm grateful that we are amongst the people that are before this has that day one opening, and the amount of groundwork we can do. So let's go into the different ways that the comp plan pays out and try to kind of see how each one works more in depth than just the regular presentations. I'd like to dive deeper into some scenarios of like, okay, so what if, let's run an example of a $10,000 commission or something like that. So let's go through each one by one and just see how that will play out for the team builder, for the leader that wants to go out there and really maximize this technology and opportunity.
Okay, so two things that are very important.
Yeah.
For somebody to get started with us, you need to understand two things. Number one, we have a 70% company-wide cap, and we have a 70% paid on commissionable volume. So your CV is always going to be 70%, but the company-wide cap is also 70%. What does that mean? Well, we're running a binary, and binaries can get out of control, right? And so there's what's called creepage, and it happens in any company that has any type of volume. Creepage? There's going to be what's called creepage. Yes. Creepage is a term where you're paying out so much, because remember, we're paying on unlimited levels.
Right.
And the only qualifier is one left, one right,
Right.
right? So we have a 70% cap, which means that if by chance, on a week by week basis, when we pay out the binary,
Yeah.
let's say our payout is exceeds 75%, right? That extra 5% has to be adjusted, and that 5% is adjusted on every single account.
Okay.
So that you stay within that 70%, right? And that's the safeguard. And you need that. And a lot of times companies don't think ahead. And what happens is it'll break your company, right? Because the growth will break you because you're not managing it. And so we have a safe lock on our comp plan that if it actually exceeds, then every single account that got paid that week, that 5% is going to be prorated within all of those accounts. Okay. And that keeps our company healthy. Because remember, you got to understand, operations, customer service, server costs, all of that is coming from 30%.
That's impressive.
And profit is coming from 30%.
Yeah.
So we have to run a really tight ship.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's number one. Number two, 70 cents of every dollar is allocated to the compensation structure. So as we go through the direct sell bonus, I'll give you an example. Let's say a product was $500, right? 70% of that is $350. So your commissionable volume would be that $350.
Okay.
So on our direct sale bonus, when you pay 10%, it'll be 10% of the CV, which is $350. So that would be a $35 commission.
Okay.
Now on the binary, you're going to get 10% of the weaker leg volume from you down to infinity with no levels to qualify, with no flushing monthly, weekly, or yearly.
Wow.
We don't flush points. They're just accumulating.
That's incredible.
Okay? They're waiting for you until you get going on the other side. They don't go away. Okay? Most companies will not do that. They might do it for a month, they might do it for a year, and after a year, they flush them out. But we don't. We leave them there, right? So if you ever come back and decide to come back and build the other side, it'll be there. So that's the other thing. On top of that, on the binary, we're not a typical binary. Here's what happens. If you're a big leader in a binary, what do you normally do? You buy a position, and then you buy a position underneath it on the left, and you buy another position on the right. But now you have a problem. You have to qualify every single position. Right? So you have to do one left, one right to the top position. You have to do one left, one right to this one left, one right to that one. And that's if that's all the requirements. There might be other requirements. Plus, you're spending more money, right? Because you have to buy these positions. And then if you're a super big leader, then you wind up buying positions below that. And all of a sudden you have this whole thing that you have to manage and administer and remember the passwords and everything for each one, right? And why do you do that? Because you're trying to catch the volume so that you can double dip, triple dip, quadruple dip on the exact same volume, correct? That's what leaders do.
Yeah.
We don't do that. When you buy a position here, okay, based on which position you're in, and the volume and the personal volume will activate those positions. So if you come in, every single position with us has 7, we call them volume centers, if you will. It would be the equivalent of having 3 or even 7 positions below that. And it's all one position. So when you're collecting volume, you're collecting volume on multiple volume centers with only one qualifier. One left, one right activates your entire business. So leaders don't have to go out and buy multiple positions because they're already there.
So that means
you haven't seen that. You're looking at me right now like, what am I talking about?
I've never heard of this.
This is an octanary. And so when you really understand that part of it, you're going to be like, wow. Because once I build my initial binary structure, I could come back and double dip, triple dip, quadruple dip on all of the volume that's already there.
From one position.
One position.
And that's built in already. Like you don't
It's
have
already
to...
built in. And when you qualify, one left, one right, all of those volume centers are active.
So would it be safe to say for someone that's looking to take advantage of that, just have your one position, get it qualified, and just start building, and then once you meet certain volume requirements, then you can, I guess it unlocks by itself once you reach certain thresholds?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll dive deeper into that, on trading.
And you're going to need the visual for that, so we can do another one like this and
yeah.
really do a deep dive on that, and it's going to blow your mind, okay, number one. Now, moving on from the binary, right? Remember, we don't have a typical binary. We have what we call an octanary, okay? Now, matching bonuses, okay? Once again, everybody loves matching bonuses, but a lot of times you have to see what type of matching bonus you have.
Right.
Is it linear? Does it go just by certain numerical levels? Like you say, oh, we have seven matching levels. Okay. Well, does that mean 1 level, 2 levels, 3 levels, 4, 5, 6, 7? And if it goes beyond that on 8, 9, 10, 11, if you have leaders there, you don't catch them anymore.
Right.
Well, we don't have that. We have what's called dynamic compression built into our matching bonuses, which means if, let's say, you recruit one person and they recruit somebody and they recruit somebody, but then they don't do anything, right? Now you're down and you already lost 4 levels. With us, you don't.
Yeah.
So if you find a leader on your 5th level, that will compress the other 4 out, and that 5th level becomes your 1st level, and you match by 10% for the first 5 matching levels, right? So we have dynamic compression. We pay 10% on the matching levels, and then on 6 and 7, we pay 5%. But everything has dynamic compression. So you could be like 40, 50 levels deep because everything compresses. So let's say your first 4 did nothing, your 5th you found a leader there. Well, guess what? That compresses and becomes your 1st level. Let's say you go to 6, 7, 8, 9, nobody does anything there, and you have your 10th level, that becomes your 2nd level.
So I have a question. So let's say that between 1 and 5, so number 2, 3, and 4, they have some volume there, but they're not enough to qualify. Do you still earn matching on those as if they would be, I guess, level 1? They'd be like considered directs to you, even though that they're...
No, they're still direct to you, and if they come back and start doing volume, they become one of those levels, right?
Okay.
But for that pay period, they're compressed, so that when you get to your 5th level, right? If you have a leader there that's making $50,000, then you get to match that 50,000 by 10%. So you make $5,000 off of that guy, right? But then if these come back the next month, and now they're qualifying, they're still there. They don't disappear. They're there. But for that pay run, they got compressed out. And so, remember, you're going to find most of your big leaders
deeper.
Usually are not going to be on your 1st level. They're usually about 4 levels deep.
I see.
Right?
Okay. So I wanted to ask on the matching, what exactly is it matching?
It's matching their binary check.
Oh, the binary check. Okay.
It's matching their binary check. So if you have a leader that's making $20,000 a month or $50,000 or $100,000 a month, you're matching their binary check.
What is the maximum that someone can make on the binary, like in terms of dollar amount? Is there a max per month, week, or something?
The max that you could do as it's written right now, and we're about to open it up higher.
Okay.
As it is right now, it's 7.3, I believe, somewhere around there. 7.3 that you could do per year.
Per year, 7 million a year on the binary alone, which does include matching.
No, a binary and everything. Everything included in that compound is about 7.3. Yeah,
and
if you maximize.
And you're going to open that up even more.
We're going to open it up more. Yeah, we're going to open it up to. We're going to open it up to 8 figures. Yeah.
8 figures in a year. Okay. So cool. The matching is one of.
Look, I know what we have. I know what I know what we have in terms of Omni. I know what we have in terms of our educational vertical.
Yeah.
I know what we have because we also have signals, right? We have, if somebody wants to learn how to trade manually, and
there is a huge market for that.
So yeah, absolutely. So I believe that if you learn how to trade, it sets you free, right? Because you don't need anything else, right? But you and I both know that the vast majority of the people are going to take the path of least resistance. So we understand that. But we also have other verticals in blockchain and crypto and things of that nature. And so our focus here today is Omni. Yeah. But once you get into our ecosystem, you're going to find out that we're not just a one-trick pony. We have other things that people are going to be able to market. And so as we grow together, you're going to find out more about what we have at DeFi Money Club.
Okay, awesome. So as we wrap up, just tell me about what the training side looks like, what's going to be the Zoom schedule, what's going to be your involvement, and kind of your role. What does Omni or DeFi Money Club on the road look like? Are there plans of get-togethers and other things that we might be able to do?
Absolutely. We're going to be, I'm very involved in the day-to-day. I do presentations on Wednesdays and I do them on Saturdays. Saturdays after the presentation, we normally have a training session where we go over the comp plan, where we go over the marketing, where we go over how to present it. And this is probably going to be one of the most simplest things that you're ever going to have to do. I mean, if you can't promote Omni, you might as well just get a job at a bank and take walk-ins.
It's honestly as easy as it gets in my space.
There's nothing easier.
Yeah,
There really isn't nothing. But we do trainings, industry trainings for the network marketing industry. So
nice.
we have a division called Network Marketing Protege, where we have all of the trainings that a network marketer needs to do in their first year to ensure success. Right. So yeah. So you're going to have access to all of those things. Now, on the communication side, I don't know if Stephen mentioned to you some of the communication things that we have going, but we have an application that's called Relay, where we're going to have company approved messaging, where you download it and you could send it to your entire phone book on your phone automatically. If you have Apple,
Yeah.
it automatically will send a message to everybody in your contacts without you having to cut and paste and manually doing it. It'll
As a text
automatically send out
message?
a message. Yes. Yeah.
And that's going to
And
be
so,
a service here?
yeah, it's going to be insane. Yeah.
Oh my
It's going to be
God.
insane. Yeah, we're probably about a week away from releasing that.
I mean, the thing about people on your team that are too afraid to talk to people or
Yes.
get that anxiety or something like that, that they can click a few buttons and send out to everyone in their contact list and let those people filter themselves. And this is such a different type of pitch where I think you'll get so many people thanking you for giving them such control and power and freedom in their hands that they feel like imagine what like Robinhood did to the retail stock client versus all of the hurdles that were along the way for them to be a big time player in the stock market. This is kind of doing that decentralization in the forex space, where as was it Steve that said the mom test.
Yeah.
If your mom can follow the steps to engage here. So
Like if you know how to download an app,
right.
you're in.
Yeah. Everything else is simple. Okay. Remind me again. Which parts of the comp plan pay weekly versus monthly, and the pay cycles and.
So you have your matching bonuses that are calculated monthly.
Okay.
There's the 40% rule, right? The volume that's calculated on your direct line of sponsorship, no more than 40% come from any particular one team. So you need at least 3 teams to run through all of the bonuses. So if you just do a 2x2x2x2, you're always going to hit all of the binary, no problem. And if you do that, you're going to make so much money anyway, it really doesn't matter. But if you really want to catch everything that's in the company, you build on a 3x3. And as you know, and I've shown you the numbers, and we could do the math, but on a 3x3 build, you're into multiple 7 figures in 12 months, in 12 weeks. 12 weeks. You're into multiple 7 figures on a 3x3, right? So it's just insane. But that one will hit every single bonus, right? If you build on a 3x3, you get your matching bonuses monthly. You get your leadership bonuses, right? So on top of the matching bonuses, we have leadership, which will actually give you. I think the formula comes out to, as you rank up in leadership, you're going to make between $2,000 and $30,000 per month, just as a thank you.
I was wondering if that was monthly because the volume requirement. That's insane.
Your volume is $3 million monthly. You're going to be making $30,000 a month. Personally sponsored volume, right? So for your personally sponsored tree, you get 1% monthly once you start ranking up.
So let's say $1 million gives you an extra $10,000 a month.
Right.
My question is on the million, the way that $1 million is aggregated, is can that be a part of the monthly performance fee as well?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the memberships and performance fee.
Yes.
So that's I think slowly performance fee is gonna be a larger and larger percentage of your qualifications and your binary points, which
Absolutely.
that's gonna be either from profits, either from same clients putting in more money or new clients coming in, people getting more comfortable with the platform and many new strategy that comes on, where then people are they diversify.
I think it's worth mentioning that 7% of the monthly fees get rolled back into the volume. So that 7% is going to add up very, very quickly. So if you have, once we have, remember, my last build, humbly, I say this, we built out a team of 250,000, right, as a rep. So imagine that 250,000 are making an average of $1,000 a month, and 7% of that gets rolled into the comp plan.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I mean, you do the math.
Okay, there's a lot of good things to say about it.
So you have the residual component to this, right?
That's true.
You have the residual built into this. You have the matching bonuses. The people that are going to rise and lock arms with us and make this a household name, they get the leadership bonuses. You have your direct sell bonuses, and then you have the octonary binary supersized
Oh man.
payout machine that we built.
And so that.
Oh, by the way, you're making money every month on Omni.
Oh, right. We almost forgot about that. That's like, that was on the side. That's like,
Exactly. Oh, by the way, you're making
yeah,
another,
right.
10% a month
Yeah.
on full automation.
Man, no, it's really cool what you guys have put together. It's something that I can genuinely be proud to bring people, and I can say that whatever they're doing, they need to at least be aware of this, and it's better that they're aware of it from you than someone else, or even worst case scenario, which is they become aware of it and they're telling you about it because you just sat on the information. And so I'm utilizing the time that we have before launch to build in the awake of this getting out there, and I think that's a very, very strong time to capture the market. Just 2 weeks of effort right now will do a lot more than 2 months, 6 months from now, where because it's a binary, because you don't get cut off, because it's compression, because you have matching and all these monthly bonuses. I mean, it's incredible, like the amount of money. And then guess what? You can put that money into your trading account. You can put, if this sounds outrageous to you, realize that the comp plan can make this happen, which is imagine having $10,000 across 5 different strategies, across 5 different brokers, or better yet, 100,000 across 10 different strategies, across 10 different brokers. That's what you can achieve here. And guess what? All of that, or even your first 3 brokers, or first 3 accounts, or first 3 strategies, all of that helps you in marketing, helps you in building, helps you in sharing that you have a portfolio diversified across multiple degrees in the Forex space for the first time. And you're not a trader. And then that's the icing on the cake there. So thank you, Danny, and thank you, Bishop, for connecting the dots and making this happen. Bishop and I, we've been through some of the headaches and the heartaches and the setbacks of what Omni solves and what DeFi Money Club is bringing to the world in a way where we can actually do very well and recoup the money and help a lot of people that have gone through what we've gone through. So I'm looking forward to this adventure, and I'm looking forward to just taking it around the world. And just the education part, there are companies that are built on that. There's massive events that happen. Why not with such technologies where people don't need to be spending time in front of the screen, where they can if they wish to do that. But can you imagine the rooms and the events and the get-togethers that would happen amongst people that are not traders and that may not have the time to devote to that? There's a lot more of those than there are people that have the inclination or the patience to learn. So I can see this growing even bigger.
I 100% believe in that, Sal. Bishop will tell you we put on events with
really?
multiple thousands of people. Yes, we bring speakers outside from the industry. We've had Jay Abraham, who had never been at a network marketing event. This is the guy that Tony Robbins takes on his master classes. Wow. We had him at our events. Jay Abraham, who is a legend in the industry of leadership and personal development. We've had John Maxwell twice at our events. I personally paid out John Maxwell $100,000 for 4 hours of his time twice. So we believe in education. We believe bringing the top people, right? We've had the author of Evangelpreneur. I can't remember his name right at the second, but we had him on our stages as well. We are, if I don't know that he does public speaking, but the Cialdini Institute is part of some of the training that I believe and teach.
Okay.
So we have yes, we believe in making events, doing local events, regional events, international events. We've done events in Spain. We've done events in Aruba. We've done events in Las Vegas, obviously, Tennessee. And I'm talking about, massive professionally produced events that will knock your socks off. That's what's coming, guys.
To bring that here. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that here. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. It's been really insightful. The more that I learn about it, as I was telling Bishop, like I just can't wait to get this off the ground. I feel like we're upon something that is life-changing for so many people that have been going in circles, that have been, is this the right program? Is this the right program? Is this going to last? Is this going to, not let me down, not let my clients down, and that sort of thing. And finally, it's no longer needing to believe that that this quote investment is going to work. It's that this technology, this distribution, this access is the essence and the value that we're bringing to the world, and allowing people to decide for themselves how they want to configure their tradings and diversify. So it's a breath of fresh air and a peace of mind to those of us that build teams that bring clients to platforms, that they will have free reign to choose for themselves. And that's what you've given us, Danny. So thank you from all of us, and looking forward to getting this off the ground and more trainings to come, deep dives into all the intricacies of how we can maximize this opportunity over the next 2 weeks, just even before this officially launches. And then, of course, even more aggressive trainings and Zooms on a daily basis that different teams will be doing around the world to get this to every person we know. So thank you, Danny, and thank you, Bishop, for
Thank you, Sal. It's been a pleasure. And I know we're going to do a lot of great things together. And
Amen.
just thank you for the time. I'm
Amen.
excited.
With that, we'll catch you guys on the next piece.